didn't renew the contract, saying that April had failed to secure any media projects. But now the lawsuit claims that after this, she still produced content about Gypsy online, even going on to discuss her fallout with the family and accusing them of hiding things. With it then further alleging that she posted some of the materials that the Blanchard family gave her, like cell phone numbers and crime scene photos, including some of Gypsy's mother's dead body. And the Daily Beast adding that the suit claims that she made repeated accusations that the Blanchard family was stalking her and encouraging others to do the same, though she had no evidence. Also saying that she made disparaging posts online, like one that read, "Call it obsession, fine. I'm obsessed with the fact a murderer and her lying con artist stepmother are conning the world one paycheck at a time." So we're gonna have to wait to see what happens there. But then in other news, you had Demi Lovato opening up and shedding light on some of her mental health battles. With Demi speaking at a benefit for the Center for Youth Mental Health at New York Presbyterian last night, and there she revealed she's been to inpatient treatment 5 times. With People magazine reporting, Demi said, "Every single time I walked back into a treatment center, I felt defeated," but also saying that she found a light at the end of the tunnel, and adding, "I think the glimmer of hope was when I started putting in the work, and I started to, whether it was work, a program, or talk to my treatment team and build relationships there." And adding that by the 5th time she went into care, she felt like she had hit rock bottom, but that it also took treatment to understand that this wasn't her whole identity. Adding, "I just knew what I needed to do, which was to live a life in recovery. And that was something that I pushed off for so long. It wasn't until I went into treatment for the first time that I realized this isn't who I am. It's just a part of what makes me me." And I mention this because I do think that it serves as a reminder that even if you feel alone, you're not. There are many paths ahead of you. They are well-traveled paths. And the feeling of failure, it doesn't have to be the destination, but rather something that just happens along your path. Because it's not game over till it's game over, right? There are a lot of twisty turns that happen in life. But then the final bit of Quickie News involves celebrity and business news. And specifically, we're talking about Logan Paul versus Lionel Messi. Right, and that because Messi just launched a new sports drink called Mas Plus by Messi. With him saying that he launched the product because I wanted a drink that I could share and enjoy with my family, friends, and teammates. With a report from CNN saying that he made it in partnership with White Claw's parent company and that it'll be available in Miami before a wider rollout in July. The outlet noting that it's a challenging market to enter and it obviously poses major competition for Logan Paul and KSI's Prime. Though also there we've seen some Prime fans accusing Messi of ripping off Prime. They're saying the bottles for his drink look just like Prime's. KSI even chiming in on the comparisons, replying to a tweet about the drink by saying it looks familiar. With him then calling Cristiano Ronaldo the GOAT on his Instagram story, which some saw as an apparent shot at Messi's GOAT status. Though I will say I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out. Because while obviously Logan Paul and KSI are very popular, Prime is incredibly popular, Messi, I mean, he's massive on a completely different scale. He's the second most followed person in the world on Instagram. His reach is massive. And it'll be interesting to see how the rollout of this drink plays out. And then, so InfoWars is not shutting down, at least for now. Because over the last weekend, you may have seen headlines about how Alex Jones was claiming that InfoWars might go to dust in 48 hours, holding emergency broadcasts, quite literally crying about it. But yesterday, a judge said that he could keep operating for the next 2 weeks until it's decided if his assets should be liquidated. Also, if you need a quick refresher as far as like how we got here, Jones was actually ordered to pay $1.5 billion to the families of the Sandy Hook shooting victims after he spread vile conspiracies claiming that it was a hoax, leading to the parents of dead children getting harassed. With him and his company Free Speech Systems then filing for bankruptcy reorganization. But on Sunday, the Sandy Hook families filed a motion to have Free Speech Systems liquidated, though the judge said that it won't be decided on until June 14th. According to the Associated Press, the company can keep the payroll and other expenses going until then. And so this is a temporary win for Alex Jones. With this coming is, like I mentioned, his ranting about bankruptcy going incredibly viral, with him saying the deep state, the feds, you name it, are after him.
At the end of the day, we're gonna beat these people. I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but it's been a hard fight. These people hate our children.
Right, and that clip actually sparking a ton of outrage from people who had just no sympathy for him and his tears. By some sharing the names and faces of the murdered kids that he used to fuel political conspiracies. Others writing things like, I literally wish the pain of the Sandy Hook parents 1,000-fold on him from now until the rest of time. I'm happy to see Alex Jones so broken after terrorizing victims in the neighboring community to me. A Sandy Hook victim's father took his own life in 2019 because he was overcome with grief, while this piece of shit made money by terrorizing them and claiming the shooting was fake. And then, in big international news, a controversy involving a Canadian YouTuber has gripped the small Caribbean nation of Trinidad and Tobago. Right, and this is a controversy that's shedding light on the pervasive violence that has plagued the country for so many years. So at the center of this, you have a YouTuber by the name of Christopher Arthur Hughes. He's a travel vlogger who goes by the name Chris Must List, and he's especially known for traveling to what are commonly considered some of the most dangerous places on Earth, or at least in a specific country, right? Whether it's Haiti, South Sudan, or the roughest neighborhoods of Atlanta. And for the past few weeks, he's been in Trinidad and Tobago, with him yesterday seeing a sight that not many visitors to the country get to see: the inside inside of a courtroom. And he was actually there for a bail hearing in connection to sedition charges levied against him by the government, with that specifically having to do with videos shared on his YouTube channel featuring, according to police, individuals professing to be gang members, advocating criminal activities, and using threatening language. And with that, these videos, which have now been deleted from YouTube, do show Hughes in areas that local authorities consider hotspots due to high crime rates. With in fact some videos showing Hughes speaking with men brandishing handguns and assault rifles.
Real thing, not no play thing. Hard copper in your skin. You know, we always have it. We outside all the time.
And so with that, Hughes made bail, which was set at 100,000 Trinidad and Tobago dollars, which is a little less than 15,000 US. With him then taking to social media last night to celebrate his release, saying, "Freedom at last. I'm free on bail. Thank you for all the love and support from my subscribers around the globe. I love you all. I appreciate you all." But of course, it's not total freedom. Right? He's required to stay in Trinidad and Tobago until further advised. And if he hasn't already, he'll have to hand over his passport to the Canadian High Commission. With from here, prosecutors having a couple of different options. Where the worst case scenario for Hughes would be a fine and 5 years in prison. But notably with that, there's opposition not only from Hughes's family and followers who have started a petition, but also from people inside the government. With that including one of the country's senators, David Nakid, who's part of the country's main opposition party. He actually defended Hughes, saying that the YouTuber simply was giving a voice to young people in the ghetto. People that he says have just been neglected by the government.
Christmas list. Who provided an ear to people that the PNM has discarded? You have great food in our country. You see YouTubers coming in talking about food content. You have great tourism in our country like Maldives. You see people coming talking about tourism. You have horrific crime, graphic crime coming in our country. You'll have YouTubers coming in. That's the nature of the world. Instead of, as one newspaper has put it, instead of shooting the messenger, get your bloody job done.
And with that, there's no doubt that crime and gang violence is a major national issue in Trinidad and Tobago. It's actually the country with the 6th highest crime rate in the world. And notably, to his credit, Hughes' videos have come at the issue through multiple different angles and primarily featured voices of people in various Trinidadian communities rather than his own. In this one, for example, he's joining local activists in a peace walk demanding an end to gang violence.
We are tired of the crimes. We are tired that we cannot come outside. Our kids cannot play in the yards anymore. We can't just come outside after a certain hours, even in broad daylight. You know, they are shooting people, they are killing people. It's like a plague. It's touching almost every household in the communities.
And of course, Hughes' content can be controversial as well. But whether or not you like his videos is a different question from whether he should be in jail or not. But for now, we're gonna have to wait to see what happens, how this actually plays out. And in the meantime, I'd love to know your thoughts. And then, you've heard me talk about how good habits can take time, but with Fume, it can at least be fun and not suck so much. And that's because Fume, the fantastic sponsor of today's show, created a new and innovative device to help kick bad habits. There are no artificial flavors, nasty chemicals, or batteries involved. Right? It's founded on the flavor, fidget, and fixation principle. If you ingrain your good habit into everyday life, it makes a healthy change feel easier and less intrusive. It's a guilt-free alternative, and the fidgeter in me likes all the movable parts and the magnets. It's balanced just right, keeps my fingers busy, which helps with the anxieties that come with these types of changes. You can even adjust the airflow to your liking. And the bottom line is that it tastes great, and they've got tons of flavors to choose from, which also lasts 3 days a pop. I'm a fan of the new retro sweets flavors, especially the cinnamon hearts. They're tasty, exciting, subtle, not overwhelming. And Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you can be the next success story. Because guys, if you're struggling with kicking your habit, this is the product for you. Seriously, just go to tryfum.com/DeFranco and use code DeFranco to get a free gift with your journey pack. That's tryfum.com/DeFranco, code DeFranco. And then, we've got to talk about this massive money laundering scheme involving the far-right newspaper that spent millions of dollars supporting Donald Trump. Right? And I'm talking about the Epoch Times. Because, for a long time, the Epoch Times was just this small, low-budget, anti-China newspaper handed out for free on street corners. But then, in 2016 and 2017, the New York Times reported that the paper made 2 changes that transformed it into one of the country's most powerful digital publishers. First, it embraced Donald Trump, right, publishing more articles explicitly supporting Trump and criticizing his opponents. And in fact, according to NBC News, spending more than $1.5 million on 11,000 pro-Trump advertisements in just a 6-month period. And secondly, it became a prominent spreader of right-wing conspiracy theories on social media, and especially on Facebook, with the lies shared including that there was widespread fraud in the 2020 election, that COVID-19 vaccines are dangerous, and even one theory that global elites want people to eat bugs. And so with that, the Epoch Times has grown massively, and according to its website, it now operates in 35 countries and in 22 languages. And in fact, in 2020, its total revenue increased to $71 million from just $15 million a year before, which is a 373% increase. And coincidentally, by which I mean possibly not coincidentally at all, that was around the same time this alleged money laundering scheme began. And actually with that, the DOJ indictment is specifically against the organization's chief financial officer, Wei Dong Guan, who also goes by Bill. And according to the indictment, when Banks asked Bill about the sudden increase in revenue, he lied, claiming that the increase in funds came from donations. But then, in 2022, he wrote a letter addressed to a congressional office falsely stating donations constitute an insignificant portion of the newspaper's overall revenue. And these lies helped the DOJ uncover what it's calling a